Hello and welcome to this promotional video in which I'm going to introduce the social orientation classes. I mean, the online social orientation classes. You might actually be asking yourself, who is this guy who's talking to us? Well, actually, my name is Iyad Al-Balawi. If you speak Arabic, you can pronounce it as Al-Balawi, my family name. However, what is my job? I'm a teacher of social orientation. In Dutch means leerkracht maatschappelijke oriëntatie, and the word itself or the term maatschappelijke oriëntatie will be used a lot during our course, and mainly, or actually the abbreviation, the M and the O. Maatschappelijke oriëntatie means social orientation. You can reach me starting from today, actually, until the end of our course via my mobile number, and you have it here, or even you can send me emails via through my email address, which is also written here. Next slides, I'm going to explain to you briefly the course itself and what we are going or what you are supposed to expect during the course itself. Well, actually, you might be asking yourself, why is this video or why you are watching this video right now, this promotional video? I will just remind you that you are in one way or another registered for an online social orientation course. It means that you have signed a contract with us to follow this course. In this video, I'm going briefly to explain how it works, how we are going to conduct it in practice, and what you are supposed to expect during this course. The social orientation course is actually in this case will be taken 100% online. And what it means by online, it means that actually the course materials, the information that we're going to discuss together, the discussion, the dialogues, the group works, the assignments as well, will be delivered to you not directly, but actually via a digital platform. What are this platform or what are those platforms? We will discuss them actually during the course, and I will introduce all of them during the course itself. However, it's possible that we are going to use recorded video for several topics. You have registered with us. It means for the online course, it means that in one way or another, you will be working by yourself. You will be working independently. But at the same time, you will be also close to your teacher, and in close contact with your teacher. In this case, I'm supposed to be your teacher, as well as with your classmates via the live sessions, via the synchronized session. Normally, we are using actually the application Zoom, and we'll explain later which applications we are going to use. However, by the contract that you signed with us here, mainly you have to do two important things. The first important part is actually the information about Belgium, which is the social orientation course itself. And as I told you, it means maatschappelijk oriëntatie, social orientation. And in this case, we are going to discuss several topics. And there are actually things that you need to do, or an action plan, or a goal that you need to reach. And then you get your certificate for that case. However, there is a second part, and we'll explain those things actually in details. You need to learn Dutch, Netherlands. The first two levels. Those are the two most important parts of the social orientation class, or the integration track that you are going to follow actually. But there's also a third important part, which we call it the individual counseling. You have a counselor. We call it in Dutch traject begeleider. Abbreviation is TB. And in this case, your counselor will also follow with you your individual story in one way or another. And actually, because it's an online course, there are some important issues that you need to take care of. What is important in this case You definitely need actually to have a well-functioning Wi-Fi connection. Um, if you don't have, or if you have problems, you need to contact or to call your counselor. In this case, he is going to help you. And you need actually, as I told you previously, you need to work in one way or another by yourself. We need to work independently most of the cases. We are going to exchange a lot of information about integration in Belgium, about social orientation classes. However, you need also to be equipped with the right equipment, like a good functioning PC, tablet, or in some cases smartphone. I do highly recommend actually to have a PC as well as a smartphone together, because sometimes we need to use both of them. What are the steps that we are going to do? Well, in the next slides, I'm going to discuss the other things that we are going to do. One of the most important questions that you might be asking yourself right now is that what we are going to discuss during this course, during those classes for social orientation. Generally speaking, we have actually 11 topics. Here are 11 topics. Those topics are about, for example, migration and legal stay in Belgium. Belgium itself, history and the political system, free time or leisure time, if you can call it leisure time, the social services and the providers of the social services in Belgium, what are those and what are they are doing, a family and family with children, education, work in Belgium in generally, housing and the housing system in Belgium, the healthcare and the healthcare system, mobility as well as consumption. If you have other topics to discuss, we are always open actually to discuss other topics with you and with the rest of the group. But mainly we have those 11 topics to discuss and to talk about. How we are going to tackle this, I mean, in practice, what we are going to do, there are actually several steps that you need to take in mind and also uh, uh, to um, to do. Me, you, as well as our colleague, the traffic leader, your counselor. There is one important step, the first one, and it is actually our duty, is an information that will be sent to you via email. It means that you will receive information about the course itself, the date and the hours and every other things via email. So for that purpose to be achieved, you need to provide your counselor, your trajectbegeleider, your TB, with a correct email address. And you need also to make sure that you are following your email address and that you are reading the emails that you receive. That is very important. So it means that you will receive an email with a lot of information. One of those information is the link to join the online sessions. Step number 2 is mainly during the live sessions. During the live sessions, as I told you, you will receive actually a link, mainly via Zoom, the application Zoom, to follow the online sessions. So in this case, you need to make sure that you have the application installed in your device. Well, if it is a PC, if it is a laptop, it's not necessary to download the application Zoom itself. However, it gives more stability for video as well as for voice audio conversations. So if you are not using a laptop, you will need in one way or another to install it in your tablet or actually on your smartphone. That is also important. However, you must make sure that you are 100% free during the live sessions, as well as step number 3 during the step number 3, the assignments. Normally, you have to devote the full time. Let's give an example. If your course actually begins at 9 and ends at 12 o'clock, it means that you must be free. You should not be occupied with any other businesses or home duties or other things to do. You must be free, completely free for the online session, as well as the assignments, if there are assignments. And normally during the online sessions, we have the online courses, I mean, we have a lot of assignments to do. So email that you receive with information, then you need to follow the sessions and to do the assignments. The fourth thing, that is, in some cases we will conduct actually individual conversation and individual discussions between me and you, and in some cases also, or most of the cases, that TB, the direct begeleidder, your counselor, will be involved in those individual conversations. And after that, by the end of the course, there will be a sort of evaluation. This evaluations means that actually you either get the certificate, you are pass the course itself, and you are entitled to get the certificate of social orientation, and maybe later on also the certificate of integration, which will be used for some legal issues in Belgium. We will explain those things actually during the course itself. However, or the second option, that you don't pass the course itself, and in this case you need to repeat it again. In some few cases we give actually a second chance for some people who have but anyway, the three options: the first one, which is to pass it; the second one, not to pass it; the third one, to have a second chance to get your certificate, will be discussed in details during the class itself, as well as actually mainly during the first day, as well as the condition to get the certificate for the course itself. Which platforms we are going to use? If you already know, or if you already have experience with the internet and educational platforms, you will realize that I've mentioned actually the application Zoom during my discussion, and it is actually, for me, it is used to conduct the online, the synchronized session. So, but anyway, there's a very important platform that I'm going to use during the session, and it is actually to exchange the material and as well as to manage the assignments for everybody, which is the first and the most important educational platform for me as a teacher of social orientation, is Google Classroom. Google Classroom, you must be a member in my Google Classroom, and in your group I will actually create a special Google Classroom for everybody, and you will receive an invitation from me to be a member or to be a student in my classes. However, if you were not member in my classes before the start of the course itself, I will make sure that everybody is actually student in my classes at the first day of the course itself. It's very important. Without being member in the Google Classroom, it will be actually hard to get the certificate, because it's very important to do your assignments. There is no other way to do your assignment except on the platform Google Classroom itself. However, to be a student in Google Classroom, you must have either a Gmail email account or an educational email account, and we will discuss those issues actually during the first day or before the first day. I do recommend actually to install it also on your application, I mean in your smartphone, to make sure that you follow everything and you receive the notifications by time. The second application, I already mentioned it. It's the application Zoom, and Zoom is mainly used for the online sessions. If we don't have online session, you don't need actually to open the Zoom. If it is a synchronized session, you can just follow the things or the assignments via the first platform, which is the Google Classroom. However, to be able to join the sessions, the online sessions, you will receive a link. This link will be valid from the first day until the last day of the course. Itself. The third application is WhatsApp. It's actually, it's not mandatory. It's an extra platform for everybody. We'll create a WhatsApp group for everybody, and if you want to join us, you can join us. If you don't then you don't need actually to follow us. It's an individual let's say preferences in this case. However, as I told you, how we are actually going to work together, the training course, I mean the social orientation course, is actually designed to be normally 60 hours of training course of a normal sessions. However, because of the situation that we are living right now, we are conducting it online, so you will follow 60 hours of online lessons. A part of those lessons will be synchronized, and another part will be actually non-synchronized. Here the percentage depends actually on the progress of our work together. And in addition to the lessons themselves, you will receive a sort of assignments. Those assignments you are supposed actually to deliver before the deadline. When we are going to start, normally you will receive, as I told you previously, you will receive an email with a lot of information. One of those informations will be actually the first day and the date of the first day actually, and the hour when we are going to start our first lesson, as well as the lessons after that, the schedule itself. You will be actually receiving it from your counselor before the first day. And also, as we mentioned previously, a Zoom link, as well as a link to join the Google Classroom. And if you want, you can also join our WhatsApp group. However, it's very important for everybody before the first day, before the beginning of the class itself, the course itself, to actually to confirm your participation. We need to make sure that everybody who's in the list will be actually with us. And it's very important to confirm to your counselor that you will take place actually in that. The last thing that I'm going to tell you is that I know that you actually have a lot of questions that you may want to ask, and maybe it is until now it's not 100% clear for everybody. Maybe there are some ambiguous things here or there. Anyway, don't be afraid. Everything will be explained and in the first day, as well as if you have other questions for your counselor. I'm waiting to meet you in my classes, I mean online classes. Unfortunately, maybe we'll be changing our way of working in the future after the end of this pandemic, the COVID-19. However, as I told you, don't be afraid. If you have questions, you can email me. It's better actually before the beginning of the course itself to email your counselor, and he or she will provide you actually with the needed information. Just my advice: follow your email and give us a correct email address. Make sure that you have a good functioning email PC or a smart device, as well as a strong internet connection during the classes, and make sure that you are 100% free to follow the classes. Don't book any other appointments, or don't follow any other activities, and don't do any other activities during the period and the schedule of our class. Thank you, and see you soon.